side, your wisdom guided oracle, and got my beautiful mandala mug. Just fills my heart with joy. It's such a joyful, cheery looking mandala. Probably why I bought it. Happy Friday. It is the first Friday in 2022. Going into a beautiful weekend. We have an interesting reading today. Um, yeah. Let's get to it. The breath map card for today says none are here solely for themselves. Nowhere is that more apparent than in the movement from servitude to service. Only then can we breathe into and as the wind of heaven. Breathing up, hear the words, may the blessings. Breathing out, hear the words, be. We came to serve. I say we came to learn and we came to serve. That does not mean we are servants, but when you make the choice to be of service, you become a servant, and that's okay. Years ago, when I walked away from church, I said, you know what, God, I just want to be used by you in life. And I had a friend say to me several years ago now, oh, you shouldn't say that. And I said, good morning, Johanna. And I said, well, I don't, why? Well, because use, that's a terrible word. And I thought, no, it really isn't. It is what I wanted in life, was to be used by God. And it was an appropriate word for me, but it wasn't a word of servitude. It was a choice I was making to be in service. So with that being said, the rest of this reading is quite timely. That's no pun on this Flower of Life card that's about time. Time is a way to measure manifestations so you can fully appreciate the experience of the physical. In oneness, you are a ray of light, awaken to your fullness, to all of you, and no longer be limited by the perception that you are in dense form only. We see the density, we see the physical, and yet that is about 5% of what is really here. So time is one of those things that keeps us in this 3D life. We created it, and we can uncreate it. In this moment, in any moment, close your eyes and breathe. Allow all of you to be here in this moment. Feel yourself in no time, just this moment leading to the next. A chain, a link that contains all you need to move you to the next moment. Open your heart, feel the love of all. From this moment, no longer will you make fear. Instead, you will make love in each moment, and time will incrementally show you many manifestations of that love. The truth is, the fear, the angst, all of that lies in the past and in the future. For the most part, I would say 95% of the time. The rest of it is the time we have here, that when we are in the past and in the future, ruminating and stirring up all that energy, we're missing out what we have right here, right now, which is always a choice, to love or to judge. That's, not the totality of the choices we have, but it pretty much spans the gamut of choices we make. Choose to be here now. Listen to what the universe has to offer in every given moment. Because, and it's so funny, the cards that came up from different decks, because this is a huge time of transformation in ourselves and in the world. And the self-trust aspect is the thing that will stand in our way most of everything that we deal with. It's trusting that we really can have the things we desire, that we can be what we came to be, that we have power in our life to overcome things and to walk away from them and to cut the cords from them, no longer be under the circumstances, no longer be victim of things. And then the next card that came up was Shapeshifting. Again, transformation. We are shifting. Stay in the now. Do your best to make your changes from right now, not from past, that, mistakes you made, things you said you shouldn't have said, all of those possibilities, or from worry about what's going to happen in the future. There's going to be upheaval. There's always going to be upheaval in life. As we are physical beings here, upheaval is part of that. That's part of the transformation process. That does not mean that it's easy and always lighthearted and yay, look at this change again. But it means you embrace it and go, okay, well, where am I in this? What do I want to move forward with? What am I going to focus on? And how am I going to take the reins here and create more of what I choose to live in this life and less of what I don't? Balance is the way to do that. I pulled my kitchen tarot cards today. I haven't used these in a long time. They're very fun, lighthearted, very busy cards, if you can see, but it is the Justice card, which is also the card of balance. It is very important to stay in balance right now. We can be pulled into either side of the aisle on life in general. We can be placed in places that are, scary and looking at all that isn't working and listening to all the people tell us everything we need to worry about. Or we can go to this side and go, la 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 la, life is wonderful and everything's good and peace, love, and harmony, which is great, but the reality is somewhere in the middle. We want to maintain balance in what we do. We want to hold on to the truth that we know. We are light beings here. We are powerful in ourselves. We have gifts and abilities and insights to bring forward, but we're doing it in this real world that gets very chaotic and sad and painful. We want to hold the light by being love. That is where we stand in the power that we have. Balance, be the balance in your circle. Choose to live your life in balance, not on one scale or the other, in the middle. No, there's pain and suffering and angst, and there is, and fear, so much fear. Be that light that shines the truth onto all things. And you've got that ability to just bring it through you. Next card was Yin and Yang. It was about balance again. It is extremely important that we stay in balance right now. Don't get heavy-handed, especially, I think probably this time of year is the hardest to stay in balance because we've made all these plans for the new year and we're going to do things differently and we're going to start out right and we're going to just focus on the diet, focus on the exercise plan, focus on changing everything about who we are. And we fall, then the teeter-totter goes this way. Balance. Do small things each day to reach the goals that you want. Little steps, little things, so that they're continuable. I'm not sure that that's a word. We can continue doing what it is that we want to be bringing into this world, creating. This is a great time for creation. That feminine energy is rising, and that's the energy of creation. We want to balance it with the masculine. It has been way out of balance for too many years, the feminine and masculine. And it is time to bring them into balance so that we are the receivers of information and the creators and the action takers and peacemakers and all of that. The thinking woman has to do with that feminine energy and the transformative process and the inner power that we have. This could be a woman coming into your life, but more what I get is it is that feminine energy rising. And that's not, there are many, many very angry feminine people out there, women, at what has been done over the centuries to us. It is awful when you look at the way women were treated and used throughout the centuries. But again, and we have so many that decided they hate men or they hate the masculine, and yet we are both. That's why it's important to balance both aspects. If you're way masculine in your energy, be willing to see how you can bring it more into balance with the feminine. If you're way feminine in your energy, bring it into balance with more masculine, because that is the real world. the feminine being out of balance, being too strong in the feminine, can be a constant receiver without the creative aspect because the action aspect is missing. It's the constant dreamer that doesn't bring anything forth from themselves. So it is important to be in balance and allow things to happen in a way that allows you to see where you're out of balance, because we all get out of balance at various times. This is a very an amazing time we're living in. It can be very fearful. It can be filled with angst and anxiety and inability to move forward, or you can focus on what is it that I can do. This is a time to really grow in your personal self, your personal power, your self-trust, your ability to bring through what you came to bring through. And I can guarantee you it is in your passion, what it is you love, what you're passionate about, and who you know deep down you are, but have maybe been afraid to share, and because you thought you'd be laughed at, you're not really anything special, you don't really have anything to bring forward. All our lies. We each have something very important to bring into the world at this time. We chose to be here now. Let us live it fully so we can be those agents of change. Purify. This has to do with what it is you're taking into your life in every form. What are you watching on television all the time? What are you visiting with friends about? Who are the friends in your life? Are they constantly judging you? Are they constantly putting you down? Or are they constantly keeping you in upheaval? I have one friend who's very much a conspiracy theorist, and when I visit with her, she'll start telling me about all these things that are going on. And the other day I told her, I said, I just really can't buy that it's all this way. And it's not a place for me to dwell. I have to live in what can I do to positively affect the world in this next moment, to positively affect the next person I interact with. That's my business. I am not, it is not my nature to be this activist who gets out there and yells and screams about everything that isn't wrong, right. And it's just not my path here. I'm grateful there are people that do that, but also that really comes from a place of limitation and lack and fear. But absolutely, we need that person in the world too, to shake things up. But years ago, she and I talked about this, and I said, that kind of thing is fear-based living, and I choose not to do that anymore. I choose to live in peace, and I choose to live with the understanding that I am the one who can make a difference by making a difference to that next person I interact with, I speak to, I work with. That's your path. It's as simple as that. It's not this huge overarching mission that you have to just jump in the middle of and try to figure out how to live in. It is one step at a time, and it is time to let go of people and things that are keeping you in fear, in angst, in self-doubt, in self-pity, in self-degradation. There is no reward there for anybody. It is just a place of limitation. The last card that came up, I actually considered not including in the reading, but here is the truth. This is always true in life. There are going to be hostilities. That is why you want to purify your life and clear out the energies and the people that are keeping you held back, because there's going to be some rough times ahead. There is no doubt. We are in a huge, major transformation in the world, the whole world. And that's really the kind of, well, for me, it's very fun that the whole world is in this. It is not just one country. We are amazing as humans. We can draw together and work to create a world we would rather live in. But we had to all get shaken up. We had to get out of our complacency. We had to get to a place where we were ready to do what we can do to usher in those changes. And for the majority, it really is that self-work. It is the opening up to our inner power, our inner mystic. It is time for the mystic to rise in the world. So That happens to be the name of my workshop coming up January 23rd, The Mystic Rises. I would love for all of you to attend. I would love for any of you who are wondering about your ability or have doubts about what you bring to the world and do you really have something, or that you kind of know there's something there, but you're really not sure how to explore it. That's what this is about. Helping people awaken to their power. That really is my path in this life. To understand you can manage your life from the energetic, spiritual aspect in every area of your life. You include it in and you become the change maker in your life. You become the catalyst for change in the lives of others. But this is also true that a lot of times when you are jumping into your truth, people will leave you. People do not like that. People don't want to hear what you have to say. Go from your heart, your passion, your knowing. That's key, and that's where the power lies, and that's when your light shines the brightest. That's what we're doing here. We're keeping the darkness at bay, and the more people lighting up their light, the further away it gets, and it is screaming loudly right now, my friends. Know that all is well, all will be well, but not necessarily tomorrow. I think we are complete for this first Friday in January 2022. My wish for you, my blessing for you this weekend is some peace, some awareness, and some understanding comes to you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we just had coffee. You are so welcome, Johanna. Thank you for joining me this morning. Until we meet again.